Well, this is awkward. I finally got serious about YouTube, started posting consistently, started actually planning around the channel properly. And then YouTube announced that the monetization goal is about to get twice as hard for new creators. Fantastic timing. Right now, I am at 439 subscribers and I need 1,000. And under the current requirements, I need 4,000 public watch hours. And starting February 1st, 2027, new applicants will need 8,000. And honestly, my first thought was, oh, for God's sake, maybe I'm already too late. But then I thought about what I'm actually doing here right now. I'm rebuilding my life. My marriage ended, I became a single mom, my business is slowed down, and have had to rebuild my confidence, my finances, my career, my identity. And YouTube is supposed to be part of what I am building. So quitting just because the target got a little bit harder would be a pretty terrible plot twist. So I could just wait for February 1st and decide I'm already too late, or I could treat it like a deadline. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm giving myself until February 1st to see if I can actually get this channel monetized. And just so we are clear, I am not a YouTube expert. I'm just a tiny creator sitting at 439 subscribers at the time of recording this video, learning from people who have already done this, testing what I learn and documenting what happens. Because if I'm going to rebuild my life anyway, I might as well document the part where I try to build something completely new, like YouTube. So I came up with 7 things that I am going to do between now and February 1st, 7 things that I'm actually going to test myself. And if something works, you will know. And if something completely flops, you will know that too. So let's see if a tiny channel with 439 subscribers can actually beat the YouTube deadline. And the first thing I had to do was to stop looking at that 4,000 hours as one giant, terrifying number and actually do the math. Because when you hear 4,000 watch hours, it sounds so ridiculous when you are sitting at 439 subscribers and hardly any watch hours. But 4,000 hours is 240,000 minutes. And I suddenly could ask a much more useful question. How many people actually need to watch my videos and for how long for this to become even possible? So if I made like a 20-minute video and the average person watched half of it, that's 10 minutes per person. I would need roughly 24,000 views watched at that average to generate 4,000 hours. Obviously, that's not how this is going to work in reality. Some videos might get 20, like right now, or 200 views. Some might get lucky and get 2,000. So hopefully, some eventually get much more. Some people will watch 2 minutes and leave. Some people might watch the entire thing. And that's actually the point. I don't need every video to perform. I need to build enough opportunities for the right videos to find the right people. So the first thing I'm changing is my relationship with volume. Starting August 15th, I am going to attempt something that, frankly, I'm not entirely sure I can sustain. Long form videos every single day. Now, before you tell me that I've completely lost my mind, which I think I have, let me explain why I'm actually going to try this. I'm not doing this because I believe post every day and the algorithm will love you. I also don't want to spend the next 6 months pumping out terrible videos just to say that I uploaded 180 times. The reason that I'm considering daily long form right now is because I'm still figuring out what this channel actually wants to be all about. I have a strategy, I have a pretty clear idea of the woman that I want to reach, but I'm still learning which subjects make her stop scrolling, which stories to make her stay, which titles make her curious, which videos she watches for 8 minutes versus which she watches for 40 seconds and then abandons. And I don't think I can learn that by uploading a video every 2 weeks and staring at the analytics like they are going to reveal the secrets of the universe. I need reps. I need data. I need to make things. So I'm going to give myself a serious period of experimentation. More videos means more opportunities to test different topics, different styles, different hooks, different structures, different titles, different thumbnails, different lengths, and different angles. And I'm going to be watching what happens. And the second thing that I'm going to do is probably going to annoy a lot of people because I've decided that I'm not going to push this channel aggressively through my existing social media audience. I have more than probably 80,000 combined followers across Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Facebook. And I could technically send a whole bunch of people here tomorrow. But I'm deliberately not doing that right now. And before anyone thinks that I'm trying to be mysterious or precious about my audience, I'm not. This is not hard facts, but I've had some established YouTubers talk about this. I actually want to find out whether YouTube itself can find the audience for this channel on its own. The woman that I want watching this channel isn't necessarily the same woman who's already following me on my social media platforms. She might find me because she's searching how to start over at 35, or why do I feel lost after a divorce, or how to rebuild your life after life falls apart, or because just YouTube puts a video about starting over in front of her while she's watching something else completely unrelated. I don't want to teach YouTube that this channel is simply Millie's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok audience. I want to teach it who actually watches this video and stays. So for now, I'm letting the platform do more of the matchmaking. Maybe that's a terrible idea, and maybe I'll change my mind later. That's the part of the experiment, but I want clean information. I want to know what happens when a stranger who has never heard of me sees a thumbnail, clicks it, watches it, and decides, oh, this woman is actually talking about me. And that brings me to the third thing, which is probably the most important one. I am going to stop being so precious about what I think people should want to watch from me and pay much closer attention to what they are actually watching. Because I have a very specific vision for this channel. I want to talk about identity, rebuilding, relationships, confidence, money, starting over, adulthood, all of that deeper stuff. I will still absolutely want to make those videos, but I also want this channel to grow. And those two goals don't have to fight each other. So I am going to study deeply the videos that are already getting a lot of traction and some attention in this space. Not copy them, just study them. What questions are people clicking on? What titles are actually creating curiosity? What topics keep appearing across various channels? And what kind of 5 things I stopped doing videos are taking off? What happens when someone makes a video called 7 things I did after divorce versus my thoughts on identity after divorce? Which one makes a stranger more likely to click? That's information. I'm going to use it. If I see that women are responding to videos about rebuilding finances, I'm going to make more videos about rebuilding finances. If they respond to things I stopped doing after getting divorced and starting over, I'll make another version with my own experience. If a video about, living my flight attendant career suddenly attracts an entirely different audience, I'm going to pay attention to that as well. Because maybe there's a doorway into this channel that I still haven't figured out or discovered yet. And this is why I'm giving myself permission to experiment with formats. I'm not going to abandon the deeper, like psychological based essays. And I'm not turning these into like a listicle factory, but even a simple title like 7 things I'm doing differently at 35 for rebuilding my life gets someone into the channel, and then that woman discovers like a 15-minute video about identity and starting over and actually watches that. Fantastic. That's exactly what I want, because discovery gets her through the door, then the deeper work gives her a reason to stay. And honestly, I think that's a much smarter way to build this than expecting a stranger to just click on a 17-minute philosophical essay from a woman they have never heard of, because I think it's important. They don't know me yet, and I have to earn that click and that view. I earn the second video. I have to earn the subscription. So that's going to be a big part of this experiment. I'm going to make videos people already have a reason to care about, then bring my own story, my own opinions, my own philosophies, experiences, and just my own worldview of how I look at things into them. And the fourth thing that I'm going to do is becoming borderline obsessive about packaging. Because I can make the best video of my life, spend 6 hours editing it, pour my heart into it. And if the title and thumbnail don't make anybody curious enough to click, none of that matters. And I know that sounds brutally simple, but I need to accept it. A title isn't a summary, a thumbnail isn't a decoration, they are the invitation. So if I'm going to be testing them properly, I'm using vidIQ, and I'm going to link it down below if you want to test it out too for your channel as well. I'm using it to look at search demand, related topics, competing videos, titles, and thumbnails. I'm studying channels outside my niche too, because sometimes the best idea isn't just sitting in the same little corner of YouTube as me. I am looking at videos that dramatically outperform the channel's normal view count and asking why. What did the creator promise? What emotion did the title create? What question did it open? What does the thumbnail make me want to know? And then I am going to translate the underlying idea into my own world, not copy the words, not copy someone else's story, just borrow the structure, then bring my own life into it. Because ultimately, I don't think I have a content problem. I have an attention problem. Nobody owes me the click. So if I want this little channel to go from 439 subscribers to 1,000 and from whatever watch hours I have right now to 4,000, I need to get much better at earning attention from strangers. And that is what the next few months or weeks are going to be all about. Not desperately chasing viral videos, but learning how to make videos that somebody who has never heard of me or seen me before see the video and think, wait, that's exactly what I've been thinking. The fifth thing that I'm going to do is build around what actually earns the watch hours, not just what looks impressive on a spreadsheet. Because there's a trap here that I don't want to fall into. I could become completely obsessed with getting to 1,000 subscribers and forget that I also need people to actually spend time here. A video that gets 20,000 people to click but has everyone leaving after 30 seconds is not the kind of channel that I want to build. I need videos that create enough curiosity for someone to actually stay and ideally make them watch another video when they are finished with that one. So I'm going to start thinking about every video as part of a larger viewing journey than just one standalone upload. If someone finds me because they searched for how to start over at 35, what is the next question that they are likely to have? If they click on a video about rebuilding after divorce, what other video would naturally make sense immediately afterwards? If somebody watches my flight attendant story because they are curious about why I quit that job, what would make them stay long enough to discover the bigger story of why I'm rebuilding my life right now? I want to build those connections intentionally. That means I'm going to create videos in clusters instead of constantly jumping to completely unrelated subjects. So, one video might be about leaving a marriage, another might be about rebuilding your identity after divorce, and another might be about rebuilding your finances. Another might be about the things that I stopped doing when I realized that I was trying to recreate my old life instead of building a different new one. Different questions, same woman, different doorway, same world. And when one video gets traction, then I'm going to look for the obvious next video instead of immediately just moving on to something completely different. If people are watching one topic, I'll give them another reason to keep watching because ultimately 4,000 hours isn't really a single video problem, it's a library problem. I need enough good videos that someone can fall into this channel and stay there for a while before they leave. And the sixth thing that I'm going to do is just check the analytics personally without taking them personally, which sounds contradictory, but hear me out. If a video gets 20 or 200 views, my first instinct is to probably say, well, apparently nobody cares. I'm going to try very hard not to do that. Instead, I'm going to ask, what did this video teach me? Did people click it? If they didn't, maybe the packaging was wrong and that was the problem. Did people click and leave quickly? Maybe the opening didn't deliver on the promise. Did they stay for 8 minutes, but then nobody actually subscribed or liked the video? Maybe the video was useful, but didn't make them care enough about me or the bigger channel. Did one specific section suddenly hold people's attention? That's something that I can build on. Did a video I thought would be amazing completely die while a simple list video unexpectedly took off? I'm not going to get offended. I'm going to pay attention. I actually want the data to challenge my assumptions because I am still early enough that I don't have the luxury of pretending that I know exactly what works. I have theories. YouTube gets to tell me whether they are right. So after each video has enough data to be useful, I'm going to look at the impressions, the click through rates, the retention, the watch time, the traffic sources, the returning viewers, and whatever else that helps me understand what actually happened. And I'm going to bring that information back into the next video. If something worked, I'll test it again. If something just failed and totally flopped, I'll figure out why before I repeat it. I'm not going to make one video called 5 Things I Stopped Doing at 35 and decide that I've discovered the secret to YouTube because it got views. I'll make another version, probably change the angle, change the promise, and see whether the results actually repeats. And the seventh thing, which might be the most important one, is that I am going to treat these as a real rebuilding project, not just a 6-month panic sprint. Yes, I want the monetization. Obviously, I do. I'm not going to pretend that I don't care about the number. I do care. I want to hit the 1,000 subscribers. I want the 4,000 watch hours. I want to apply before the February 1st deadline. I want to look back at this video and be able to say that, holy crap, we actually did it. But I also don't want to build a channel that I hate making because I was so scared of a deadline. The bigger goal is to build an audience around the thing that I am already rebuilding my life around. I want this channel to become a place where women who are actually starting over and rebuilding their lives after major life transitions come to find language for what they have been carrying, what they have experienced for years, and gain practical insights on building the next life that they actually want and life that belongs to them. I want to talk about identity, confidence, relationships, money, career, motherhood, faith, reinvention, the weird middle of adulthood, and all the decisions that come after the life that you thought you were building changes. Some videos will be deep, some will be practical, some will be listicles, some will probably be just me sitting here saying that I tried this and I found out that it was a terrible idea. Some will be about research, some will be stories from our own life, some will be documentary updates where you actually get to watch me rebuild things in real time. I don't want every video to do the same job. I just need the channel to tell one coherent story. And that is that I am rebuilding my life and I'm figuring out how to build the next version of it intentionally. So that's the experiment. Between now and February 1st, I'm going to publish at a volume that I have never attempted before. God help me. Study what strangers actually respond to, get much more serious about titles and thumbnails and the entire packaging, use the data instead of my ego, build videos that lead naturally into other videos, and keep improving every single week. I'm starting at 439 subscribers by the time of recording this video. I don't know exactly where I'll be by February 1st. Maybe I'll totally smash the goal. Maybe I'll get close. Maybe I'll completely have underestimated how hard it is to get 4,000 watch hours and get completely humbled by YouTube. But I'm going to find out anyway. And honestly, there is something kind of fitting about that. I've spent the last 2 years learning how to start over when the plan doesn't go the way you thought it would. And if you're still here, please help me out. Like this video, share it with someone who might enjoy watching these little experiments. And if you're not already subscribed, maybe you can actually be the number 440 that moves me closer to the goal. I'll be super duper grateful if you do. I'll see you in the next video.